Hello, um, welcome to Python tutorial number 2. Uh, as you guys know, we will be talking about Python fundamentals, and in this video, we're going to talk about basic operators and user input. Okay, guys. So let's get started. So what are basic operators? What even are operators? So as we know, in math you have things like plus, minus, um, multiplication and division, right? Well, those are kind of like the operators that we have in programming. So for example, let's take for example we have x. We have x right here. It's going to be 2. We have y. It's going to be 3, right? We can actually do this with the print function like we saw last video. We can do x plus y. Okay guys, so what do you think this is gonna do? It's gonna add x and y. But what are x and y? Remember, x and y are integers and they represent x, for example, is 2 and y is 3. So x plus y would be 5 because 2 plus 3 is 5. So let's see. Yeah, you see it showcases 5 right there. Okay, so that's very simple, right? So let's see, what else should we have? All right, so let's say we have x equals 15 and y equals 12, right? Let's do another operator, which is going to be print x minus y. Okay, let's do this one, and it gives us 3 because 15 minus 12 is 3. Okay, so I think you guys are getting the gist. It's basically just math. These operators just do math. You could also do, I don't know, x equals 15, y equals uh, 3, right? And then you could do print. Uh, you could do print x divided by y. It's literally the same as math. It's very simple. All right, so you do let's see what we get. And we get 5. Okay. As we get, it's actually going to show it in a float value. Of course you could change this, but it's actually going to change it in a float value. So it's actually, let's actually do this. Let's actually do something. Okay, so we're gonna do z. Okay, oh, actually, let's do results. Right, actually, let's do answer equals x divided by y. Let me separate this, x divided by y. Okay. Now we're going to convert this into a float, and into an integer. Okay. And now we're gonna print answer. And it gives us 5. So you see how when we were only printing x divided by y, it was automatically assuming that we wanted a float. But since we converted it into an integer, because remember integers represent whole numbers, then now it gave us 5. So this is something you can do. You don't have to do it like that. You could actually do it like this too. You could do it like this, int, and then answer. And I'm pretty sure you would get the same result. Yeah, you would get 5. All right. So that's just something that you guys, would want to know right there. All right. So let's do, what if we want to do x times y, right? That would be 3 times 15, which I think gives you 45. Oh, my bad, guys. I actually forgot to do the print function. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, we would have print. Let's do answer. And let's run the Python file. And we get 45, right? All right. So, yeah, you see in this one, it didn't assume it was a float because it's actually multiplication, right? You could also do this with floats. You could do this with anything. Okay, so that's really just showing you the power that these programming languages have over everything. You know what I mean? You could do math and programming. You could make a program that helps you solve, a lot of functions and in math problems. It's, you know, it's very amazing, right? So yeah, all right. All right, so we have, you know, we've covered plus, minus, division, and multiplication, right? Okay, so now let's get into some other operators. So this one, for example, let's say if we have x equals 3 and we have y equals 2, and we want to do answer equals 3, wait, no, x, but we want to raise it to the power of 2, and of course that would give us 9, but let's see what we get. Print answer, let's see what we would get, and we get 9, right? So we have this one right here, this operator, which means to the power. Okay, so that means an exponent. You know, we're raising the number to an exponent, right? All right, so that is something we need to know. All right, so I think for now those are the most basic operators you guys need to know. But yeah, all right, so now we're going to focus on user input. Okay, yeah, we're gonna focus on user input. I was going to focus on comparison operators, but I think comparison operators are more like, you know, conditionals and stuff. So I think it's going to be better for you to focus, you know, for you guys to focus on user input first. So let's actually focus on user inputs. All right, so we've got user input. All right, so let's say we want to ask our user for a name, right? So how would we do this? We would get a string because the name is a string, right? So name is equal to input, and then we want to do string. What is your name? We want to ask the user this. Okay. All right. So then, look what it's gonna do. It's going to ask us what is our name. What is our name? You see, it actually lets us type stuff in the terminal now. So we're gonna put our name. It's gonna be Diego, and nothing happens, right? Because it just asks us for a name. You know, like nothing. We're not doing anything with that input that the user gave us. You know, we haven't done that yet. So let's say so. Okay, so let's see something. All right. So print. So once the user gives us, you know, his name, then, you know, his or her name, then we will print hello, and then watch this, guys, watch this, plus name. Okay, so whatever the user gives us, we're going to add it to this string right here, and it's going to be, for example, if I put Diego, it's going to be hello Diego. If I put Alex, it's going to be hello Alex. It's just adding it. So you see how we're using one of the operators. In this case, we're not using the operator to add or make any arithmetic operations like 3 plus 2 or 2 plus 2, right? We are just adding it to, you know, to combine a string, right? So let's just see how this works real quick. All right, so what is my name? Let's say my name is Alex, and it now prints out hello Alex. Isn't that great, guys? Isn't that the magic of programming? All right, so yeah, so now we have print hello plus name. All right, so we have covered input. So of course you could also ask them for a number. So you could you could ask them for this. You could ask them for what is your number, okay? And then you would be able to do this print. All right, how would I print? Wait, hold on, guys. Let me change this real quick to number, because of course I'm not gonna have name. And then you would print int number. You could leave it as a string, but just for the sake of, you know, of doing this, we're gonna have int, okay, an integer. Okay, so int number. So we're going to convert because we have this, okay, so the input is a string, right? But the user is going to put a number. Well, we are supposing that he's going to do that, right? So of course, if he doesn't, then well, we're kind of screwed. But that's that's something that we have to take care on once we learn more about Python, right? So okay, so we are assuming the user is going to give us a number, but we don't want to represent that number as a string, so we can do some operations with it, right? So we are going to convert that number into an integer right here. So as we just did, we just converted the number into an integer. So let's see what this, how this does it. So let's see, run Python file, and we're gonna give it a number. So we give it 2, and it actually prints out the number 2. Okay, of course you don't have to convert it into an integer, but now we're going to do some operations with it. Okay, so let's see. So we could do let's ask them for another number. So let's put this number x. Remember, variable names are very important. You see how I'm changing the variable name so I don't have like the same kind of, some confusing variable names that I don't know what to do. As the program gets larger, you're going to want to have really good variable names. So just, really keep that in mind. Okay, so number y equals input. Remember, guys, you could also do this. You could, instead of doing this number thing, you could actually do this right here. You could do int over here, and then you convert that into an integer, but we don't want to do that. Okay, well, I don't want to do that, right? I just want to do it because it's more clean, I think, if you if you do it here. So yeah, sorry. So let's put the other one. So what is your number? This is the second number we're gonna ask it for, and then now we're going to print. Let's actually do this. The sum of your numbers is, and then we're gonna do this. Watch. Plus int number x plus int number y. Okay, and let's see what happens. The sum of your number, the sum of your numbers is 5. So you see how amazing this is, guys? You see how amazing this is? It actually made it. Are you seeing this, guys? Like this is amazing, right? You're able to add these things. You're able to, output this stuff on the screen. It's awesome, right? So yeah. Of course, you could actually make it cleaner by, like putting the int here instead of there, and and you could do a lot of, like you could do a lot of different stuff. For example, you could do result equals number x plus number y, right? And then you could just print the result, right? But yeah, this is just a sneak peek into what you can do, right?